Hi, this is a review of Arrow that premiered on Wednesday night. It was a really good episode, and I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't the best opening, but overall, throughout the other episodes, it's all right until you get to the end, the cliffhanger, the scene that you're like, what the fuck? Um, pretty much. Pretty much. Basically, the city is good because last year there's like this whole big thing of with Slade and an army of superhumans. Um, we get introduced to new characters. Ray Palmer, the Atom. This is before he has the powers. He basically sees. He basically gets become the CEO of Queen Consolidations, Oliver's company, and Oliver is basically jobless and homeless and no money. Felicity is working at a place similar to Best Buy's, and Diggle he has a baby on the way. Oh, and Roy has become Arsenal. I thought he'd be Red Arrow, but makes sense. He will be Arsenal, and we get introduced to a new character. Um, um, Wiener Zytel. Zytel. He takes up the mantle as the Count Vertigo, and his version is more sinister. If it was possible, if they needed someone to play the Joker, I think the actor that played this new Count, he could play the Joker, because he played this role like it was like he was insane. He seemed like he was on the drugs, but yeah, it seemed like he was on the drugs, but I don't think. And then his technique of giving people the vertigo was throwing darts, which was pretty awesome because it gave off of what Arrow does with the arrows. Um, I'm gonna keep this short and simple. This review. There was some interesting scenes that I didn't really understand. And some people who I saw comments about it. We are confused. We want to know that not confused so much of the time zone between from last season to now of how Roy Harper he's seems like he's an expert archer. Seems like he's an expert archer, and we don't know what the hell is going on with that. We don't know the exact time zone, but we all know they're gonna explain that, and let's give it time. Give it time. His suit looks a lot better than Arrow's suit. Um, when is Arrow gonna take up the name Green Arrow? It doesn't make no sense. But so basically, Oliver finally tells Felicity how he feels, and he takes her out. He sets it up there to take her out, and he takes her out to a restaurant where it ends up being blown up by the new Count Vertigo, Wiener, Wiener, and almost kills some people there, but almost kills Oliver and Felicity. Oliver, I know some people were uncomfortable because Oliver didn't take Felicity to the hospital. He took her to the lair, which has its own little herbs and medical things. But when Diggle and Roy got there, he was like, "Oh no, she's just unconscious." I didn't want to stay and ask questions. I didn't think that was a good idea, but it would be make more sense if you just took her to the hospital. Um, they go out and they find out that the new count's gonna eliminate the competition of all the head bosses out there. So he basically sets up a bomb at the fight where three of the head bosses are at, like his character, the way this count is so I don't know. I think it's more of a Joker like Vertigo, Count Vertigo, because he's crazy and he doesn't care of what. Like when his henchmen said we might have to get close to verify who he is, he's like, we don't need to. He brought this missile. It's like boom. He doesn't care about collateral damage. Um, when he first gives Oliver the injection of vertigo, Oliver sees himself, and Oliver's like, it comes back to the choice of which mask are you gonna wear? Basically, the Batman ideal. Are you gonna be the man with the mask, or are you gonna be the man who who wants to pretend to be running a business and being all around? You can't do both. And as crazy as it is, um, the new vertigo drug allows him to see this. He has to choose to be himself or the arrow. And by the end of this, by the end of his fight in the last scene with the new Count Vertigo, he decides to be the arrow. He can't be the CEO. He can't be the one to hold hands and fall in love. He has to be the vigilante, and that's all he knows. And he was saying that to Felicity too. That typically he's a soldier. He can't do this normal thing. And good thing his third sense, because he sensed that missile coming and it blew, and he grabbed it and jumped out of the way. Um, he benches Diggle for a good reason, and I agree with that. And this is the first time he made a very good decision. Benching Diggle, knowing that you have a baby on the way, you shouldn't be out trying to help somebody stop crime, knowing you have a baby on the way. You should be at home, um, working some other nine to five, and taking care of your kids. So he made the right decision with that. We are introduced to in his past because we're introduced to Amanda Waller in his past and two other characters, Katana and Masino. Um, I'm pretty excited because I want to know where this is going. For some reason, Amanda Waller wants Oliver to sign. It's neat to know. Um, I'm curious to find wonder if this is the point of origin of the first Suicide Squad. Um, I'm really curious about that because Katana Tatsu, her backstory is that her husband is is trapped in in a sword, a soul sword, and I don't know if I'm saying this right. Masoon is her husband, and Masoon is supposed to make sure Oliver stays put, and he's supposed to watch Oliver, and he tells Oliver if he keeps trying to escape, he's gonna bring him back. But Amanda Waller is up the ante of if he fails at this of keeping Oliver in line, his family will die. So the question is, is Katana will Katana will Tatsu, aka Katana, feel some way towards Oliver, blaming Oliver for the death of her husband, or is she hell bent on getting revenge on Amanda Waller? That goes. The question goes to you guys. Which one you think um, it would be? Um, Katana get it will basically will Oliver's past come back to bite him in the ass, or will we see Oliver? Will we see Katana in a present episode wanting help from Oliver to get to Amanda Waller? And then throughout that 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 is the most important thing. That was one of the things I was excited about, to see Katana, to see the Ray Palmer, to see how him and Felicity react, because they both are nerds. They both are computer geeks. Um, the first scene we see Ray Palmer is in the Best Buys type store that Felicity works at. Their chemistry's friendly. She doesn't really know who he is until she finds out that he's the one that takes the company from Oliver. She, we get like so begs the question, because Oliver sets things straight with um, Felicity. He's like, we can't be together. I'm sorry. Your life is gonna be always in danger, and he breaks up with her. He ends it with her. And Ray Palmer, you know, she does some stuff um, to Ray Palmer at the end. His computers and stuff is down, and then he comes to her and be like, "I might need a little help." Um, I know everyone's confused about how of the timeline between with Roy. We're probably gonna get that later in the episode, but Roy seems to know what he's doing. Thea's gone. He's seemed like he's really motivated into like doing this vigilante to get his mind off of Thea. We get a glimpse that Thea is somewhere. She sends a text saying she's somewhere, and I was like, I've been asking her to send her pictures. So I don't. I think Oliver believes that Thea might be somewhere. She's probably lying about her location. She might be doing Legend of Korra with her parents, like that. The Canary returns, helps Oliver, takes down the new Count Vertigo, and it's interesting. The when Oliver takes down Wiener Zytle, the new Count Vertigo, he tells him, "You tie me up, lock me down. It doesn't matter. There will always be a Vertigo, always someone to pick up the mantle. You have you have given it the power. Don't you see? Don't you see?" And this is like kind of similar to like the villains in Batman. Like one comes down and another one comes up in his place. Um, Basically, what I got from this scene was that he's basically for all the bad stuff that is happening in Starling City, you're the one to be blamed for, and you can't really defeat it because it's always gonna be there. That's what I got from it. I don't know if that makes no sense, but that's what I got from it. It's kind of like a whole Batman thing was like you're the reason why all these villains exist. But I don't know. That's what I got from it. Felicity, you discovered Felicity's Jewish because it's like Mazel Tov to Diggle when Diggle and his ex-wife, when they have the baby in the hospital, and Diggle and Oliver piece things up. They have their bromance, and he's grateful that he benched him because he would have missed out on the birth of his daughter, and Masu basically tells Oliver this scene. He tells Oliver that Amanda Wallace threatened his family to keep him in line, and so like he's like I could I could get to you if you try to leave. I will get you, and he's proven that. He chased him throughout Chinatown in the past, and shot a cell phone, shot the computer, and knocked him senseless. I would say I'm gonna sit down and chill for a little bit, and then learn your techniques. He basically tells him a man cannot live by two names. I believe it means any, not having a choice, meaning that Oliver has to choose to be Oliver Queen or the Arrow. You can't be both. And I think that's what in present time, Oliver is learning after the whole thing with Felicity. Every time he gets close to somebody, something bad happens. I think he first learns. He doesn't really learn this in the past, so I'm assuming something happens to Masoon's, um, Katana's, husband, and it's because of the choices Oliver made, and either Katana is gonna blame him or Amanda Waller. But I'm assuming Katana is gonna blame him because if we have what we have learned from season 2, anyone from Oliver's past, whether it's on the island or where is in China in Japan right now. I mean, he's in Japan. Sorry for if I said China before. He's in Japan. Anyone from his past is can be technically stated as a villain. The show, it follows the comic books, but not totally follow the comic books. So it could go its own route. It could develop like there are new characters like Diggle, Felicity, characters we never seen before. So it could go any way. Oliver breaks things off with Felicity, realizing it's he's risking her life, even though she works with him in the lair and she helps him out. But if anyone found out he was Arrow, it's putting a mark on our back. So he ends that relationship. Um, what I was disappointed with the show is that if you're gonna have a connection with another show, this other show should be after it. So because they brought the whole Barry Allen thing. He calls him. He races to Starling City, and he calls him, and they meet up, and which doesn't make sense because the Flash should have been right after. But that's just that. Um, Canary and Laurel have a moment, and after Laurel leaves Canary, oh my God, whoever that person is, it could be so many people. I don't think it's Oliver. I don't think it's Roy. Um, 3 arrows to the chest. It could either be Thea because they haven't really explored that storyline that damn I don't remember the name. This is from last year. Let me see if I can look for her right now. Her name from last season. I forgot. They haven't explored that story. They haven't really explored the father's past. Um, if he's had, because there was one episode where there was one, I know there's a story where the father had a relationship with someone in his past, and they and their daughter came and had wanted revenge. And there's another story where the father has an assistant who he trains. Like the father, he trained taught him to fight with arrows to basically train them to shoot arrows. Um, I forget her name, but they haven't explored that storyline. Um, um, shit. Let me see. They haven't really explored that storyline. There are several storylines they haven't explored with the father because um, I don't know. They haven't really explored it, and I'm curious to know why. I'm sorry. I'm looking and trying to look up the name as I'm speaking to you. Uh, yeah, Isabel Rachev. Her character in the comic books had a connection to Oliver's father because Oliver's father had an affair with another woman behind his mother's Oliver's mother's back, and her daughter comes back and try to get revenge, and with the company, that's a whole thing that they haven't explored. I think that they're using Thea for that. There's another one. I honestly think who killed Canary. Canary. It doesn't have to. Um, Everyone says it's a dude, but that as we've seen throughout the whole from season one to season two, there's a voice. There's a device that they use to modify their voice. I think it's Katana who's seeking out revenge on Oliver. Some I know there are some people that says it's Thea. Thea did leave with Merlin, and she is traveling, so he might be training her for something. And there's another character that I was talking about that in the comic books he was assistant to his father, and he was trained by his father. Um, Ka- Kamodo. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but Kamodo could be he could be have been a student of Merlin's, or they could be introducing the League of Assassins again. I don't think it's the League of Assassins. It doesn't make sense for Ra's al Ghul to get rid of one of his own, especially someone who's so good. Um, I honestly, now I think about it, I don't think it's Katana, because Katana, in some aerations, Katana, she is part of League of Assassins, so it wouldn't make sense. But either it's Thea or Komodo who kills Canary, and they're prepping, supposedly from my internet searches, they're prepping Laurel to be the Black Canary, which is good. I think they're moving a little too fast with that, because we just got the Canary in, I think, the end of first season and throughout the second season. We didn't see much. We saw some of her, but not too much. But I was really sad about that, because I was just getting used to the Canary. Um, I was just getting used to her. But overall, the show was really good. I think that whole situation with the Canary saved it at the end. Excuse me. I think that whole situation with Canary saved it at the end. Um, it was getting the show was getting better. Um, it had a lot of fight scenes that helped it out and everything. Overall, it was a really good show. It was saved by that ending shot of where and now we are gonna look towards to where it's going. Um, Laurel, will she pick up the mantle of Black Canary? Will she be trained by a wildcat? That is the most interesting. Who's gonna train her? Because if she goes with the League of Assassins, that's veering away from story. But if she goes with the League of Assassins, okay, I'll to I guess, but she'll have to disappear for a little bit. If she becomes Black Canary, this opens up the idea of, will they do another spin-off show? I know they've done this before. The Birds of Prey, which failed during the '90s, wasn't that good. Um, I think what hurt it was the Batman storyline, the Batman and Catwoman daughter thing that messed it up. I think if they did it correctly with the Huntress and Oracle and the Canary and whatever Katana, the extra person, it will be a phenomenal show. It's just you have to find the right person to play the. I don't think the girl who would play Canary would want to be on a television show. But that is my thoughts. I honestly think the show was amazing. The premiere was awesome. I can't wait for the connection that it's gonna have with the Flash show. So I'm gonna gear up for that. Thank you for watching and surviving this review. Um, yeah, and hopefully next episode will be excellent, will be way better than the first, and just keep us pumping in curiosity of who this person is. Hopefully, they second episode they tell us who killed the canary, and we could start getting curious about how Raj Agul is gonna come into play. Thank you.